Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. Guys, the newest episode of The Flash, Season 2, Episode 16, Trajectory, just finished airing on TV. Now I'm here to review / just talk about the episode. If you have not seen the newest episode of The Flash, Trajectory, Season 2, Episode 16, click away now. I'm going to get into spoilers. I will ruin the episode for you, okay? Are you gone? Are you gone? You've been warned. I'm getting into spoilers. Okay, let's jump into the newest episode of The Flash, Trajectory. So first, let's talk about the actual character, the villain of this week, Trajectory. Now, at first when I heard about they were doing a female speedster, I was thinking, how are they going to pull this off? Because two things. Number one, we've not seen another speedster on the show unless it's a villain like Reverse Flash from Season 1, and Season 2, Zoom and Jay Garrick, as when he gets the Velocity 9 or getting all the different velocities, he's becoming another Flash. And number two, the portal to Earth 2 has been closed at the end of episode 15 before the mini break. So no speedster, as we know before this episode aired, got through a portal. Now, obviously, they could have said, well, a portal magically opened and now we have Trajectory. Now they came up with a really interesting way to kind of piece this all together. So what they did with Trajectory here is simply give us kind of the story of what happened to Jay Garrick when he basically started getting addicted to Velocity 9. When he told Caitlin the story of how he got addicted to Velocity 9 and there were some very bad effects, aka Zoom. And we got to see that through Trajectory and seeing what went down there. Because Caitlin needed some advice or some help, so she contacted a friend of hers from Mercury Labs, and ultimately she got 3 of the 8 ingredients or whatever to create Velocity 9, and she basically created her own Velocity 9 and was getting addicted to it. Now, I really enjoyed her character because it wasn't only just her being a villain and her being another speedster, is that whenever she ran and she had a red lightning and yellow lightning just like the Flash and was red and all that kind of stuff, basically a female copy, carbon copy female version of the Flash. Everyone in Central City just assumed it's the Flash. He's stealing from us now. He's a bad guy now. He's a villain. And in fact, it was actually just her. So it was kind of cool to see that angle of that. It's not just another speedster. Everyone knows, can tell between the two that this is the Flash, this is the evil new speedster now. They all thought it was the same person. We know it wasn't, but there is that. I like the fact that at the end, she still took that Velocity 9, even though Barry told her not to. And we saw her lightning turn to blue. Zoom. She disappeared. I'm not sure if it's implying she time jumped something, because what we really don't know, maybe more explanation, maybe we'll see her again, but her lightning turned blue like she was about to turn into Zoom and she disappeared. So was a female Zoom created by this, but her disappearing? I don't know what's going on. The assumption is she's dead, but it just really boggles my mind what this all meant. But my next little thing I want to talk about is connection with this. But I felt like it was cool to see her in this episode. But it wasn't just another it wasn't just a female speedster. It was more than that. It was kind of showing basically what happened to Jay. But her disappearing when the blue lightning showed up and she just evaporated. We don't know. We don't know what's happening. She evaporated and that was it. So maybe we'll get more explanation as the season continues. So the next thing I want to talk about, the big thing that happened in this episode at the very end, which is, of course, the team finds out that Jay Garrick is Zoom, or we assume is Jay Garrick. We don't know if that's his real name or not. But Cisco kept getting vibed every time he got near the helmet that was placed in the case by Barry at the end of episode 15 before the mini break. Every time he got near it and touched it, he vibed and saw Zoom just in this big room. And so when he kept saying, I kept getting this vibe about Zoom every time I was near Jay Garrick's helmet, Barry just goes over and smashes that damn case. Gives the helmet to Cisco. He vibes it and sees Zoom take off the mask and it's Jay Garrick, and he just turns away and just runs. It was kind of weird, but it was like he never saw Zoom about to take his mask off before. Just Zoom would randomly run around in this room that Cisco's standing in, and the one time he holds the helmet at the end, that's when he pulls off his mask. It was kind of weird, but it got the point across. Everyone knows now that Zoom is Jay Garrick. I put the quotations because I'm assuming, as amongst other fans, that's not his actual name. His name is probably Hunter Solomon from Earth 2. But anyways, that was cool that they just revealed, like, they literally revealed to us, the audience, at the end of episode 15, after the Flash logo as a post-credit scene in the TV show, before the actual credits, that Jay Garrick, or, the Jay Garrick we know, is actually Zoom. The very next episode, coming back from break, they just reveal it. Zoom is Jay Garrick. They're the same person, basically. So they didn't wait any time. Like, we were all assuming episode 18, 19, 20, they'll figure out a way, he'll reveal himself to the team. They find out the very next episode after we learn about it, the audience. So they waste no time. I'm assuming there's a really good plot device, because when they teased the Blue Lightning with Trajectory at the end, there was something more going on there. So I like the fact that they revealed that. Now, these are the two big things about the episode. The third thing I do want to talk about is this douchebag, the guy who's running the paper. I mean, when he came in a couple episodes ago, and he was so anti-Flash. And I'm liking that even though in this episode he's still a douche again, because he's like, yeah, the Flash is a villain now. It doesn't matter what you say, anybody, I don't care. He's a villain. At the end of this episode, when there was a photo of the Flash and Trajectory in the same picture, standing there together, he's like, oh, well, I was wrong. You wrote a good piece. I can't knock it. And it's just like, I was really getting I was annoyed at his character from the first appearance. I'm glad that he's probably still going to have kind of a grudge against the Flash, but I'm liking the fact that, no, we're just going to get rid of that stuff. No, we're not going to deal with this crap. Here is what actually happened. Stop blaming the Flash for all your problems. That's just the way it came across to me, so I'm glad they fixed that up. So overall, this was a good episode. I actually enjoyed it. There was a lot more meaning to this episode than just a female version of the Flash. There was a little bit of what basically happened to Jay Garrick, or Hunter Solomon, and essentially the reveal to the entire team at the end that, hey, Zoom and Jay Garrick, same person. So there you go. What I did expect to happen that did not happen at this episode, I'm assuming it will happen at the beginning of Supergirl next week, is how does Barry get to Earth 3? We're calling it Earth 3 because it's not Earth 2. How does he get to Supergirl's world? I thought at the end of this episode, like a post-credit scene, he would run through a portal somehow and he would get there, and that didn't happen. So maybe at the beginning of Supergirl's episode next week, we'll get a little bit of an introduction how the hell he ends up on Supergirl. So we'll see what happens. So there you have it, guys. That's my review. Thank you so much for watching my review of Trajectory, Season 2, Episode 16 of The Flash. Thank you all so much. I'm done. Bye.